New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Oh my, if you could only see what goes on behind the scenes here at your New Thought Media Network. I think it's even funnier than what we put on the air. Well, good evening to everyone across the United States and around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and yes, guaranteed exciting edition of the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am the Reverend Michael Mangus, broadcasting this evening from the extra secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret that only one person knows where it's at. Everyone else, especially that Rev Doc guy, that Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, my boss here at the New Thought Media Network, he has no clue where the top secret bunker is located. And we are going to keep it that way. Well, we have a wonderful show for you this evening, and I am going to label it The Shift Has Hit the Fan Show. The shift has hit the fan. So please feel free to interact with us by posting your comment either on Facebook or on YouTube. And again, all my shy people out there, yes, I know. You're saying there is no way I'm going to put my my comment on YouTube or Facebook or social media. Anything that's related to you, I get that. pastormichaelmangus at gmail.com, pastormichaelmangus at gmail.com. Well, the Chinese have said that may you live an interesting life. And that is supposed to be a Chinese curse. And this has been interesting this week. But the purpose of us meeting is to talk about contemporary issues from a new thought / spiritual perspective. And as I keep saying week after week, I want us all to have a new thought about what is going on in the world and the part that we play in it. And we have a very powerful part to play if we want to. So once again, with his wonder dog, Lily. Here he is all the way from the great state of Tennessee, originally from the greater state of West Virginia. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
Hey.
Hey, there's Lily.
There's Lily. She insisted on being seen on camera. Earlier this week, she went to the spa. She got her hairs did.
Okay.
She got her nails did.
Wow.
She got her nice little bath. And she still smells like the shampoo that they used on her. So she wanted everybody to see how pretty she was.
Yes, she looks very pretty.
Are you ready to get down? Huh?
Yeah,
she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Yeah, you made reference to the fact if people would not they would not believe what goes on behind the scenes.
Are you saying, Reverend Jeff Radcliff, are you saying that I abuse you? Is that what you're?
I'm saying that you don't pay attention to details. What I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And yeah, you are a little bit of abuse. You called me a diva. You called me.
I called you. I went there. I went the D word. I called you a diva.
Well, yeah, I just retaliated with the B word.
Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that you are not here for the Friday evening fireside chat, that you are here only for the award-winning Reverend Jeff's story of the week.
And it's going to be a good one too. It's really kind of cool.
So,
I have to tell you, and I don't know if Rev Doc's watching or not, but I had a mystical experience on New Thought Media Network earlier today.
You mean you can have mystical experiences?
I had the mother of mystical experiences. Okay, as many of you know, probably, and I hope all of you are watching, I co-host.
I hope they are too, but go ahead.
Yeah, seriously. I co-host Divine Science Everywhere at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. And part of the beginning of our show is taken up with Reverend Joy, who does a centering moment. Just a brief little meditative moment to get us aligned and stuff like that. I have been meditating for 45 years. Okay. And every once in a while, something really interesting happens. Doesn't happen very often. I don't know why it happened today, but in the middle of Reverend Joy's centering moment, I had an out-of-body experience.
Wow.
And I'm there. You can see it. It's recorded. It's out there for everybody. I'm down there with my head on my chest, but in my mind or whatever, I was out among the stars and among the planets. It was the most cool thing. And I'm just enjoying the hell out of this. And then all of a sudden I heard a voice call my name. And it was not Jill, it was not Reverend Joy, and it was not Bishop Jarrell, who is our co-host. It was just another voice. And all of a sudden it just felt like I got yanked back.
Wow.
Yeah. And I came to at the very end, we had taken a break. So I'd missed the very end of Reverend Joy's centering moment. Bishop Jarrell does a brief segment where he talks about different New Thought luminaries who have gone, before our historical past. I missed all of that. We went into the break. I came out of it just in time to hear the last of the break. It was the most profound thing. And so, well, if I start speaking in tongues, or if I start channeling Abraham, during tonight's show, it's just a continuation of what happened earlier.
Well, we all know that you are the staff prophet here at the New Thought Media Network. But anyhow, I wanted to get back to your award-winning story of the week.
Yes.
So Legal was checking over your story. Okay, and they invited in, like they usually do, Rev Doc.
Okay.
Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski.
Who is like the world's biggest. I won't use that particular word. Let's just say that he's not all that big a fan on some maybe profane things that might come out of my mouth. But but he gives me that leeway.
All right. So they invited him. They invited him to spin the wheel of F's. That determines how many F-bombs that you are allowed to use that week.
Okay.
And Rev Doc was in a mood. And he just said, you give him as many as he wants.
He said that, really?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
He was in a mood today because of the what has gone on in the world this week, and
must have been
some things. And so he just said, you give him as many as he wants.
Well, that's cool because he's a little more straight-laced than that. So,
So he may come into the studio this evening. He did threaten that. So like security, I'm watching the backdoor cameras here. Does not look like he's in yet.
How can you be watching the backdoor cameras when he doesn't know where the studio is?
No, he knows where this studio is.
Oh yeah,
not
that's right.
where,
not where the concrete bunker is.
The top secret concrete bunker is located.
Oh,
no, it's just there's some days I just want to hide from him. Okay,
he's not that bad.
By the way, he did write a piece on the New Thought Media Network Substack that said, now it's not working. Ice.
You see, I'm drinking my water out of a water bottle now instead of in my usual thingy because I insist on no ice.
No ice?
No ice.
Well, today I saw people on the Facebook feed. There were a few that were clutching their pearls and saying, how dare Reverend Dr. Brzezinski use that kind of profanity and say what he says. That's not what Ernest Holmes taught.
And I guess they forgot that Ernest Holmes didn't want to be put up on a pedestal because he said he didn't want people to see his feet of clay.
Well, we all do, and that I think that
Jeffy didn't give a fuck. I'll put me up there. I'll show my feet.
No, that's one. That's good. Yeah. You have unlimited tonight, so you don't have to worry about getting a letter from legal saying that you overstepped your allowance of Fs.
Okay, but you know what? For him to go off like that is really something because he's not.
He usually doesn't do that. No, but you just give him as many as he wants.
Well, and I'm grateful to him, and I can understand why because we had some shit go down this week. There's like,
it really. So, I would like us all to take a deep breath. How about that? Let's take a deep breath.
This is what triggered my out-of-body experience.
Okay, one more time. All right. So I was talking to my friend today, Catherine Duca, who's a licensed clinical social worker, and she is continuing to get well at home after a hospital stay. And I was thinking, I have the perfect spring equinox event. Now, Catherine and her lovely wife are moving to a Delaware coastal city. So why don't we have a Scream at the Beach spring 2026? That is where we all get together on the beach. And on the count of three, just scream as loud as we can to get out all the frustration. Now, I have a longtime metaphysical friend. He said that when you do that, when you do it over water, it's very cleansing. Mm-hmm. So, and afterwards, then after we have screamed, then we can send love to the world. I think that we have a 1 million person project. And so I have sent that down to our crack promotion and also marketing department here at the New Thought Media Network. And I'm going to let them figure out how to make that happen.
And you know, the cool part about doing that on the beach is like you could also do it in like a pine forest or near a waterfall. The movement of the water generates negative ions, which make you feel absolutely incredible. Okay. And so that, along with the inner spiritual cleansing of the practice itself, that would be awesome.
So if Catherine is watching this evening, or if you're watching on replay, Catherine, get well. You have 3 months. Get well. We got to do this on the beach. I think it would be very helpful.
It would be.
Okay, so Tim has already said, he says, I prefer to yell in my shower while feeling the warm water. Well, you could do that, Tim. Yeah. But I think having a group activity like that, I think would help the psyche of everyone. What do you think, Reverend Jeff?
Getting together with Tim in the shower? That sounds like
no.
And then we could all yell.
No.
You got
it's not working. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess it is time. It is time now, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary. I was corrected last week.
Ooh.
From the Spiritual Information Network, from Sin. It is time for the news. I wish we had like a big news background,
that would be awesome.
Yeah. Maybe we could get RevDoc too. Yeah. Well, there is a graphic in another studio in StreamYard, but you'd have to help me get it.
We need something like Vanna up there, doing her little hand gestures and, whatnot. That would be cool.
Well,
we could actually have Vanna there whenever RevDoc spins the F wheel for me.
I think that would be extremely expensive. What do you think?
Yeah, it would, but it would be fun.
All right, let's quit messing around here. Let's get to the news. Minnesota officials push to join the investigation as tensions remain high after the Deadly Eye shooting. Protests and vigils have occurred nationwide and are occurring this evening after an ICE agent fatally shot a woman in Minneapolis, deepening tensions over the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Amid calls for a transparent investigation, the FBI has taken over the probe, with one of Minnesota's top investigative agencies saying that it has been blocked from assessing and also having key materials. I wonder why, Jeff.
Yeah.
City officials today reiterated plans to be involved in the investigation. Now, my hero of the week for using the F-bomb is Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, who again had
once.
What now?
And he only used it once.
He only used it once, but did you see all the people clutch their pearls?
Yeah.
Especially in right-wing world, saying, how dare an elected official use the F-bomb? Well, Minneapolis
Trump used it.
What?
Trump has used it. He's on tape having used all kinds of profanity.
Right, but he doesn't. Again, he doesn't count on Fox News. That's okay for him.
It may not count, but if you're going to clutch your pearls over everybody and not just to select one or two.
Well, anyhow, so Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry says he stands by the statement that he made on Wednesday when he told U.S. immigration officials to get the out of Minnesota. Yeah. You notice I'm using the beep this evening a lot because that I'm up for ordination this year. And I really don't want to be caught on camera saying anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope the board realizes that you're living vicariously through me.
Okay. Well, anyhow, the Trump administration was also pushing a BS narrative about the fatal shooting of 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good by an ICE agent. Fry said during a news conference today that he maintains the shooting was a reckless abuse of power. If you have viewed the videos, not the one supposedly put out by the shooter today, which doesn't prove anything, but if you see the different angles, they had like 4 or 5 different angles, even people from their security cameras. They've made that video public, that there is no way that this woman was attacking the ICE agent with her car. There is no way. And for him to go ahead and shoot her point blank like he did is just, it's just not acceptable at all. Your comments, Reverend Jeff.
It's not acceptable. And I've seen at least 3 videos, including the one where he supposedly filmed this with his phone camera. It's interesting how he was able to hold the phone with one hand and, he had this gun in the other. So, something bound to happen with this. But even as shaky as his video was, you can tell that her car was angled in such a way that she wasn't going to come anywhere near him.
Absolutely. Well, again, Fry said, he says, and this notion of inflammatory comments. I mean, come on, guys. I dropped an F-bomb, okay? They killed somebody. Which one of these is more inflammatory? I'm going to go with killing someone. Fry also urged the public to view the footage of the shooting and not to rely upon the conclusions of federal officials on who was responsible for Good's death. Don't take my word for it. Don't take their word for it. Fry said, watch the video from every angle. And yes, go ahead.
Remember the old joke, the guy says, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
And, that was the punchline because you knew that he could not be believed, that wasn't why he was there. You can't believe what they're saying now. Christy Noem is lying out her ass. J.D. Vance is lying out his ass. Donald Trump is lying out his ass.
Christy Noem with her cowgirl hat.
That girl dresses up more than any drag queen I ever knew.
That's pretty good.
But and supposedly the guy that the agent that shot her,
right,
had got his hand caught in another car and was dragged a few months ago down the street and was supposedly severely injured and traumatized. Well, if he was that traumatized, show me the proof that he had some sort of therapy, mental health work done to help him to cope with that.
And then an evaluation before he was put back out into the field.
Thank you. Yeah, if he was that injured, why is he out on the street now?
Well, guess who opened his big mouth? Jacob Fry today challenged Vice President J.D. Vance's claim that the ICE agent who killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good will be protected from absolute immunity. No way, Vice President Vance, is that going to happen? No way. Okay, you can have your boss go ahead and pardon him, but that's only for federal charges. If they come up with state and local charges against this guy, he is going to jail. Your comments.
Where he should be. they can petition to have the state charges made into federal charges. I'd like to think that there's not a federal judge out there that would approve that, but you never know.
So it says this concept of absolute immunity is pretty bizarre and very concerning, said, again, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry. It's very concerning. That's why we're asking for a BCA, Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, to be part of the investigation. And they are a state authority in Minnesota. So again, this guy is not going to get absolute immunity. I can guarantee you that. Or if they go ahead and they try, this is, again, they know who did it. All right. And so, and even here in Ohio, we've had an officer on one of the local Cleveland suburb police forces with the same name go ahead and get harassed. No, please don't do that. Yeah. Let's let sane law enforcement go after this guy. We don't have to do it. So we are getting two narratives here. Again, one from the state and local and also citizens who have video proof that she was assassinated by an ICE agent. Assassinated, not run down or hurt in the incident. Yes, sir.
Yeah, assassinated is an accurate word. That's exactly what happened to her.
And then, did you see all the narrative from the Trump administration that the shooting was justified?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're still saying that because they're saying that Good tried to run the ICE agent over. All the videos from all the angles do not show that at all.
Yeah, you're right. The evidence does not support that. But the thing of it is, Trump has lied to the American people over and over and over again. And some of them have bought into it. And it's well known and documented that you say it over and over and over again. It may be a lie, but more people are going to believe it as the truth. And that's why I think they're doubling down on this thing.
Right.
They keep repeating it, hoping that more and more people are going to follow that and jump on the bandwagon. And I've seen it here in Tennessee. I've looked at local news coverage of it and seen some of the comment sections on their websites. You would not believe the number of people that are buying into this.
Well, again, this is not our time to be quiet here. Protest in your own way. We have to stand up now for our civil rights before they are taken completely away. Our voices are loud. All of us who care about civil, moral, and ethical rights need to speak up now. All of our outrage together will change things. Believe me, they already have. And again, we need to start organizing around this year's elections. The tea leaves are saying that Trump wants to create enough chaos through triggering a world war and then canceling the November elections. I really liked what Bishop Darrell Watkins, what he said today on Facebook. He said that the Department of Homeland Security attempts to frame this as a domestic terrorism is obviously gaslighting. Video evidence and eyewitness accounts starkly contradict the official narrative of self-defense, showing an agent firing into a vehicle that appeared to be maneuvering away and not attacking. To discharge a firearm into a car in a residential neighborhood 4 blocks away from what happened before is recklessly and seamlessly prioritizing dominance over the lives of people meant to be served. 4 blocks away from the George Floyd incident. 4 blocks away. Renee's wife was said to be in the car with her, and there are unofficial reports of a physician offering assistance but being forbidden by ICE agents. They have that on tape. How dare they? They went ahead and they took the body 2 blocks And by then she was gone. Does it sound like someone's trying to cover up something?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So again, the incident took place just blocks from the site of George Floyd's murder and reopens deep wounds in a community already traumatized by law enforcement's misuse of power. Mayor Jacob Fry, in a public statement again, told ICE to get out of Minneapolis. We need just to stand together, folks. That's what this is all about. This is about standing together and saying no to this Nazi type behavior. And I know that that's strong language, and that was also said today in an article, in a Substack article by my boss, the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, where he went ahead and said, basically, he said, F ICE. And boy, did the people start clutching their pearls. How dare a minister, how dare a religious science minister say that? And again,
they don't bring any religious science ministers then, do they? There's a whole lot of potty mouths out there.
Well, I'm not going to read the whole article. Right. I'm not going to read the article. Please go to the New Thought Media Network Substack. It is free. You can read it there. But I think what, you should, again, Jeff, you should have seen the clutching of pearls. Oh, and, the people saying, well, you weren't the police officer, and on and on. And so what Rev Doc did was he said, okay, fine, write a rebuttal and I'll post it. So again, this is what we are facing here in this country, and that we need to have more mystical experiences like Jeff had today to get us through this time that's going on. So, and again, and I'll just quote a little bit from Rev Doc's piece today. He says, we have to stop pretending that this is just politics. It's not. It is a spiritual crisis. It is the corrosion of empathy. It is the slow death of the moral imagination. It is the attempt to make cruelty normal. And once cruelty becomes normal, history has already taught us where that road ends. Your comments, Reverend Jeff.
Yeah. Back when I was beginning my New Thought journey, now, and keep in mind, folks, that
was that in the 1900s?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, 1906. Okay, go ahead.
In the 19s. Keep in mind that this movement originally started. It was very heavily biblically based, because we are not a Christian country per se, but culturally we are, because that is what the predominant religion is. At least it was back in the 1850s.
Right.
But somewhere along the line, divine science is stuck with Christian scripture, and we have looked for the metaphysical meaning behind those scriptures. We see the same thing with unity. I've seen a really pronounced move away from that when it comes to the religious science aspect.
Well, and also some of the unity churches also.
Yeah. Well, when I made mention of the fact that, Ernest Holmes, quoted the Bible. Sometimes he quoted it a little awkwardly, a little incorrectly, but
he still used the Bible, though.
Yes. And this was back in the old days of the oh my God, drawing a blank. Those chat rooms. What was it? What was the first really big internet service?
Tell me. Oh, you mean AOL?
AOL. Thank you. I wanted to say Amazon. I'm like, that's not right.
No.
It was AOL. And this woman goes, well, we're divine science, dear. And I could hear her sneer in her written words. We're divine science, dear. We don't do Jesus. But yet, that man was quoted as giving us some pretty awesome stuff. And when you look behind the words to the true meaning of it, and it wasn't Jesus who was speaking, it was the Christ within who was speaking. So it kind of, I'm kind of not surprised that there would be a lot of pearl clutching from that faction of the New Thought family, because they've moved so far away from it.
And I'm going to say something more controversial right now.
There can't be anything more controversial than that.
Well, what's controversial is that New Thought is mainly Christian based.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's mainly Christian based and also relies upon, again, ancient wisdom and also the wisdom that comes from all the major religions.
Right.
Holmes talked about the golden thread that went through all of them. Mm-hmm. And he used Christianity to go ahead and to bring forth the principles, because that we are primarily in this society a Christian Judeo beliefs that we have here in our Western world. So he used the language that he thought would get the message across.
Well, yeah, when you consider that this is a movement that started in this country, New Thought is uniquely an American thing that kind of spread worldwide, but it started here. Right. And when it started, people were more heavily Christian than they are now.
Yes.
And we've kind of moved away from that. And it's kind of understandable. I mean, because there have been some atrocities that the Christian church has perpetuated on people.
Absolutely.
But you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. And that seems to be what a lot of our society has done, is take the good stuff and throw it out with all the crap.
Right. We have a comment here from Tim. He says, when will all this violence, illegal craziness ever end? I pray for peace, calm, and normalcy, and just leave us all alone. Well, you can say that.
Yeah, I helped you. I fixed it for you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a break. But before I do, just to remind you that after the break, we will have Reverend Jeff's story of the week. And I have no idea what order you want your slides in.
Keep the daytime slides together and the nighttime slides together, and you'll be fine.
I have no idea how to do that. I have all kinds of order here.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. I'm working with amateurs here.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, we'll have Jeff back on here in just a moment. And hey, you're with the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Good to see you this evening. And I invite you, if you do not have a church home or you would like to come and visit us here in Akron, we have a wonderful community that meets online, summitcsl.org. And this week, what we are doing is we are going through the introduction to the Science of Mind text, as we used to do in all of our religious science churches the beginning of the year. So we're taking the topics, the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. And this Sunday, we'll have as our guest speaker my good friend, the Reverend Dr. Carol Ann Drick, and she'll be speaking on the way it works. So come this Sunday, summitcsl.org. On our website, you'll find all of the Zoom information. We'd love to see you there. All right. We will be back with the award-winning story of the week right after this. And this is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your, and I mean your, New Thought Media Network.
What would Louise say? Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Hosted by Reverend Martine Bernard. Explore the wisdom of Louise Hay. Brought to you by New Thought Media Network. Dive into Louise's teachings. Experience healing and empowerment. Reverend Martine shares insights. Connect with a contemporary audience. Unlock your potential. Transform your life with love. Embrace positivity and healing. Join our vibrant community. Ready to join us? Let's spread love and wisdom together. Please like, share, and subscribe. Only on New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
And once again, we are taking a look at the studio cameras in the back of the room to get into the studio door cameras, and he still has not shown up, the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski.
Okay. Just as a brief aside.
Yes.
Center for Spiritual Living Midtown is one of the network sponsors.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Rev Doc, our own Reverend Dr. Brzezinski, will be their speaker via Zoom on Sunday.
Okay.
So, look for him there. Go to the CSL Midtown website, and you can get all the information you need to attend on Zoom while he talks to the folks of CSL Midtown.
Absolutely. Great community, and we're glad to have them here on our network. Okay.
So
I do not know the order of your slides, but let's just do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for that award-winning part of our program, Reverend Jeff's Story of the Week. And here he is, Reverend Jeff.
Every other week I have to say, where's my music? Where's my music?
No, listen, I am not in a jingly mood tonight. This has not been a jingly week.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, then maybe this will make it feel better. I'm going to channel my inner Sophia Petrillo. Okay. Picture it. Manchuria, Northeast China, January, where the temperatures can get as low as 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Harbin is the name of the town. Doesn't sound Chinese, but that's the name of the town. They have one of the world's most spectacular winter festivals. They celebrate the snow and the ice. They do all kinds of neat snow sculptures and ice sculptures. Harbin is a large city that's been influenced by Russia and Europe and Japan in its culture and its architecture and its lifestyle. They call it the Ice City, and it is the host of one of the world's biggest ice and snow festivals. And it started with ice out of the necessity of back in the 1960s. They had frequent power outages at that time. And so the residents created ice lanterns in the form of frozen shells, and they would put candles in them so that they could light their courtyards and their homes. They called them poor man's lanterns. And that evolved into an art form that became a festival. They started the first Ice Lantern Festival in the 60s, had 250,000 people show up in the first 6 days. Wow. And by 1985, it had grown into the International Ice and Snow Festival, which is one of the top 3 in the world. The other ones being Japan's Sapporo Snow Festival and Canada's Quebec Winter Carnival. So these 3, we're focusing only on the Chinese one, but these are 3 of the world premier snow and ice festivals in the world. So they have the opening ceremony in Harbin on January 5th every year. So just a few days ago. And for 2 months throughout late December through the end of February, they have this festival. And all the ice, nearly all the ice that they get for the festival, for the sculptures and whatnot, is cut from the Songkhla River in Harbin. And so what you're looking at there are pieces of ice that have been cut and stacked and sculpted to make cities, to make all kinds of neat little cool stuff. And they do that with the snow as well. It's kind of like a frozen Disneyland, okay? Ice and snow castles. You've got cartoon sculptures, and they also have the world's biggest variety of snow sports and activities. So
can I show the one graphic that you and I almost came to blows over?
Yeah, because it's really cool. This is the one. This is what he called me a diva over, but I needed to have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes before airtime.
Oh.
3 minutes. He wanted me to go through all the all the hassle of getting this up. Here we go.
But isn't that awesome? Look at that. How cool is that? And that's just snow that they packed together and shaped into those little figures. I think it's cool. It kind of looks like, there in the middle, it kind of looks like Snoopy, and the one with the top hat, it's a little bigger, but it could be Woodstock, Could be.
That is pretty cool.
So, but yeah, this has been going on for the past 60 some odd years. And they've got, what's cool is they've got the big center where they have most of these exhibits set up, but it goes throughout the city. They also have ice and snow sculpture exhibits on what they call Sun Island. And in Shaolin Park, they have an exhibition dedicated simply to the ice lanterns that inspired the festival in the first place. So if you got some time on your hands, you got some spare money, you don't mind it being 22 below zero, go to Northeast China, to Harbin, and check out the Snow and Ice Festival.
Now, our California friends.
I know, they're wimps.
Ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that a nice story? That was Reverend Jeff's story of the week, and he used none, I repeat, none of his unlimited F-bombs.
Well, it's we've been through the ringer this week, so I thought it was would be nice to have something a little more uplifting.
Well, I'd like to honor this week, not that. I thought we're going to remove that and put that up there. Okay. Let's see. We're going to add this to the stage. There you go. Okay. So the White House this week trying to rewrite the January 6th history and blames the police for the deadly attack on the 5-year anniversary. Did you read about this, Jeff?
I have read so much bullshit about this that it's just unbelievable.
Well, the White House rolled out a new website on Tuesday with a full-blown recast of the historical record of January 6, 2021, hailing the pro-Trump mob who stormed the U.S. Capitol 5 years ago as, quote-unquote, peaceful protesters who were provoked by law enforcement. The news site baselessly claims the violence on January 6th was instigated by law enforcement and, of course, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Oh,
it was all her fault, Jeff.
Yeah. And, there was also something else I saw that they tried to attribute. They first started to say that the rioters were actually Democrats who dressed up like Trump supporters.
Yeah.
to, incite them to riot. Which
Ew.
makes like no sense because number one, who wants to dress up like an idiot? Number two, why would anybody try to incite a protest against an election that they won? To try to blame that on the Democrats is just insane.
Well, this website recasts the rioters as victims that day.
Yeah.
And depicts President Donald Trump as a hero for granting sweeping pardons for the nearly 1,600 people charged in connection with the deadly attack. And what was not mentioned was the brave police officers. No, there were none that were killed that day, but there were one suffered a heart attack the next day, and also 4 died of suicide. And they are Officer Howard Leipengood, Officer Jeffrey Smith, Officer Brian Sicknick, Officer Gunther Habida, and also Officer Kyle DeFreitag. Those are the real heroes of January 6th who defended our Capitol.
Did you see that there was a plaque cast in memory of the officers that was supposed to be a bipartisan thing? The
Right.
Senate passed it to hang this. MAGA Mike Johnson, in his infinite wisdom, led the House representatives in saying, no, we don't want this up because supposedly the plaque was to name the officers that died individually. And instead the plaque said, named all of the different agencies that contributed officers so that it could be all encompassing. Well, the Senate said, well, you know what? Fuck you. There's another one. And so they're going to hang it in the gallery up above the Senate chambers.
Yes.
So that it at least gets, recognition.
Again, we can't let them change the narrative about that day. And I remember waking up that morning, and again, taking a look at the TV and going and just not believing my eyes. It was just absolutely crazy. And then to not have law enforcement, again, National Guard, law enforcement, take care of this. And Jack Smith, a prosecutor, testified before Congress I think it was this week or the past week, that he is absolutely sure that he has more than enough evidence to convict Donald Trump of starting the disturbance on January 6th.
Yeah, and I keep seeing people post on social media about how we need to impeach him. Well, folks, here's the thing. You might as well just shut up and stop talking that craziness until we get to November.
Right.
Until the Democrats are able to take over the House of Representatives and the Senate, all this talk of impeachment is just like it's like spitting into the wind. It's not going to do you any good. The House impeaches, the Senate has the trial, and they convict. If you don't have enough people in the House to impeach him, it's never going to get to the Senate in order to have the trial and the conviction. That's why we need to get out the vote.
Absolutely.
We need to, if you want to impeach him, like you say you want to impeach him, then get your ass out to the polls. You take everybody that you can put in your car and you make a caravan and you go and you vote. That's the only way we're going to get this done.
Absolutely.
Until then, the best we can do is do some inner consciousness work to maintain not only our connection, our alignment with spirit, and to focus on the life that we want to have for ourselves, and then to do what else is needed for us. Right now, that's about it. Write your congressman, write your senators, let them know that you're not happy. Don't ignore the stuff that's going on and wait for November.
Right.
Speak up and do what's yours to do now, but also do part of that inner work as well, because it all goes together.
And we have one more story, and it's a good news story.
Good. As good as the Harbin story?
Probably not.
Oh, it will be.
Well, let's see here. So a determined engineering student, this guy's 18 years old. He builds a prototype modular home to help homelessness. So a driven Ontario, Canada teen is determined to end homelessness in his city and has designed a modular tiny home system to tackle the problem. Ribal Zeben is only 18, but he wasted no time in finding his purpose. At 17, his passion for engineering had seen him build a child-scale model of a Mercedes G-Class out of wood and electronics and donate it to a museum. How about that? Now he's working on something a little more practical, precision fiberglass molding that can create small insulated shelters to support London, Ontario's 1,800 homeless residents. And Zeben isn't only focused on the present. He says, I'm concerned about the people in the future that will end up facing that problem, right? Because housing prices are increasing and increasing and increasing. And the fiberglass panels molded with utility cavities can be quickly duplicated to form modular structures of larger, smaller areas. The ceiling itself, insulated cores of, it's called PET plastic, that supports the roof structure and should resist all weather all year. So beginning in May, Zeben, who attends Western University in Canada, will attempt to live in the modular home for 12 months.
And you know what's really cool about this is I did just a little bit of quick research on this. He's being joined by a couple of other people in Canada who have got the same goal. There's a man by the name of Ryan Donise who has built 3 tiny little mobile homes that are attached to bicycles. So isn't
that interesting?
They're mobile and they have heat, electricity, running waters, and so he's doing that. And there's another 17-year-old engineering prodigy by the name of Ashwin I'm going to say this wrong, Srinivasan, who designed another type of prototype modular home that uses recycled materials and can be assembled in less than 8 hours, and it's designed to meet all their building code requirements. So how awesome is that? This mini
good is happening.
It's taken off.
Good is happening. We are going to have, again, portable shelters for the homeless. And I know here, it's colder in Ontario than it is here in Ohio because it's more north. But still, for this 18-year-old to be really concerned about others and saying, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to design the shelter, and I'm going to live in it so that I can make it better. I just think that's just great.
Yeah, because there's no better way to find the flaws and the bugs that need to be worked out than for him to actually be there and experience it for himself.
And so I'm really surprised Rev Doc didn't join us tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe he had something better to do.
He's probably fending off all those pearl clutchers.
Oh man! Well, he used the F-bomb. He didn't teach principle. People who say those kind of things have no sense of our history in New Thought. We were born out of the workers' movement. We were born out of women's suffrage. We were born out of that. So for anyone to go ahead and say, well, just teach principle, that's all we want to hear, it just doesn't cut it anymore, folks. I mean, we have to not only, again, do our inner work, but we also have to see our interconnectedness, to take it from just me to we, to us.
Mm-hmm.
What good is saving myself? Okay, well, that's, one less human to go ahead and to worry about. But what is, you go ahead and you save yourself, and then you let the whole world, the rest of the world, just go to hell in a handbasket. I'm allowed to say that. So I think, again, we are, the theme in Centers for Spiritual Living in the weekly talks is open at the top. So I think that we are open at the top here, and that several individuals have taken the stance, a very controversial stance, and said, listen, we really need to care about other people. Your final comments, Reverend Jeff.
It's too bad that lady, and I don't remember her name, told me that religious science does not do Jesus, because Jesus said, the things that you do for the least of these, my brothers and sisters, the poor people, the downtrodden, the hungry, the homeless, the widows, the orphans, what you do for them, you do it for me. And he wasn't talking about himself as Jesus the man. He was talking about himself as Jesus the Christ, recognizing that within those people, those least of these, the Christ spirit resides.
Absolutely. And more Science of Mind, more Centers for Spiritual Living congregations are coming to that realization.
I'm starting to see
coming to a place of becoming concerned about the we, and realizing, again, our oneness in that.
I'm starting to see that, and it's very encouraging. So,
well, we have final parting words from Tim this evening. He says, keep the faith and raise your voices and be a responsible citizen.
We could do
you
that.
You used only 3 F-bombs this evening. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, well, hey.
And you had unlimited tonight.
I know, right? Well, I'll hold them in reserve. There'll be another day.
Oh, there'll be another day. Oh, with this administration.
There will always be another day.
Reverend Jeff, thank you so very much for being with us this evening. And folks, it's time to go again. Thank you for joining us this evening. Please tell others about the Friday evening fireside chat and also all the great programming here on ntmedia.org. Just go to our Facebook page, New Thought Media Network. We have over 40 hours of positive programming for you. And if you feel like you're taking crazy pills, well, you're not. It is crazy, and to not get caught up in all of that race consciousness, all of the, when we talk about race consciousness, we're not talking about skin color. We're talking about the consciousness of everyone. So not get caught up in that, but to know that, again, that there is a presence and power that exists in and through and as us that's greater than the circumstances, and we need to rely upon that. On behalf of all of us here at your New Thought Media Network, I'm Reverend Michael. I'm going to wish you a very pleasant good night, and if I can find it, sweet dreams.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.